if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you need to be comfortable with failure. You need to actually welcome failure. You need to realize that if you are not failing at something, you're not learning.
Yes.
You have to, you know, those failures, those are your lessons, those are your school fees. That's so that next time when you do it, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience.
Merchandising. If you're not in business, you will then decide that you're going to create content for the like. A brand comes to you because we're trying to build businesses. So if you know you have to deliver on a deadline, if you own a business, you understand deadlines, right? Yes. You know timelines, you know what needs to be done because you own a business. And I actually do encourage a lot of creators to go into merchandising, and you have your own brand. And that is the Skinny Color Cosmetics, and it's already doing a lot of work, right?
Yes.
Where did that brand start, and how did you get that going? Because I think that under your arsenal as an influencer, that is already a plus.
100%. Hi, my name is Nicole Norman. I'm the founder and CEO of Skinny Color Cosmetics, and today I'll be sharing what I have in my bag.
To another episode of A Lesson Shared. It's so fantastic to have you here. We're down to episode 5. It's still a dream. It's still so exciting. We have such a great program for you guys today. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. If you can share it with a friend, even better, because I think we need to be sharing all of this content that we're getting that is so good that people can actually share it and actually love it. And we're loving all the feedback that we've seen so far. We're loving the subscribers. We're loving social media. We've got such an active community, so we're so super excited. And again, we're getting elevated and elevated as we go along. Today we have Nicole. She started out as an influencer. Actually, she's going to tell you her story because I think it's quite fascinating to have her and the learnings that she's going to be able to impart with you guys. Let me see if you guys can just grasp the tenacity, the spirit, and the entrepreneurial drive that comes from this young lady. I'm so excited for her to be on this couch with us today. So let me just hand it over and ask her to introduce herself for like a minute.
Thank you,
Hi,
Chris.
beautiful lady.
Thank you for such a wonderful introduction.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Cool. Can you just tell our community a little bit about yourself and your background and everything?
Yes, definitely. So, like you mentioned, I started out as a creator, as a digital creator. We were kind of just chatting a little bit about the blogging days where things really kicked off. I had a blog and I moved on to Facebook. That was what was hot at the time, right? And I would kind of share my articles. You know, I've written about this fashion show or this designer. Here's the link, go check it out. And from there, it just kind of naturally evolved to social media and sharing more on social media. So sharing more on Facebook, and then Instagram came around, and now we're on TikTok, and just kind of going with the times, right? Staying relevant. And it really started, from wanting to be a fashion editor of a magazine. So creating these beautiful looks, these outfits, and telling a story through fashion. And from there, I kind of, just delved deeper into trying to work with brands, trying to deliver a service, trying to build a business as a content creator, as a digital content creator, and providing the service, the looks, the images, the video, as well as the audience, as well as the insights, and really being a partner for brands when it came to these collaborations. But at the same time, I have always had an entrepreneurial spirit. Yeah. And that's kind of where my latest venture has stemmed from. Yeah. Pivoting, evolving as an entrepreneur. And that's really where I am at this point in my career.
You are amazing. And I think for you to be as young and as driven as you are, I think that is something to be celebrated. And we just spoke about now, like, the barriers that most entrepreneurs have, which is pressing the start button.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was reading a paper last year, or was it 2 years before, about the amount of accelerator programs that are going around in the country, and some of them having stipends and bursaries, and entrepreneurs they fail to start because they feel like there's the spirit of this is very much about making a living, so it's very about sustenance building, whereas some entrepreneurs feel like if I've got the tenacity and the animalistic, whatever comes against me, I'll start. So you're finding a lot of people saying, oh, I'll keep the stipend, I'll stay in the program a little bit longer, I'm not going to press start. And I think I want to understand from your side, how do you feel about starting, and like how do you get that to go forward, right? Yeah.
I am such a huge advocate of just start.
Yes.
I should actually be a Nike ambassador.
Okay,
just do it.
just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, pull the plug, quit your job, and just be like, oh, I'm a business person now, I'm an entrepreneur now. There is planning, there is hard work, there is the blood, sweat, and tears that you were talking about that goes into starting something on your own. But do the prep work, do the research, over plan. You can never be too prepared.
Okay. Yeah.
But you need to say, this is the date, this is the deadline. The same way that if you were working, in your job and your boss comes to you and he's like, this is the deadline.
Yeah.
You can't say, well, I don't know, I'm a little scared today. Let's try it again
You
next
just
month.
do it, yeah.
Or, let's try it on Monday.
Yeah.
No. You just execute. You
Yes.
just do it.
Yeah.
And I think that comes with discipline and having the self-respect that I say that I'm going to do something and I'm going to pull through and I'm going to do it. I'm not going to tell myself, wait for Monday, wait for the first of the month, wait for January.
Yeah.
I'm going to start.
Yeah.
So, plan, do the research, and then have your plan of action, how you're going to execute on this, and then execute on it.
Yeah.
Start. That's
Yeah.
just start.
Okay.
And once you start, you have something to work
Sure.
with. We were kind of talking
Yes.
about it. Even if it's something small,
You're
even if it's something that
learning as you go
needs
along. Yeah.
exactly, even if it's something that needs work, we'll work on it. But now we've got something to work with.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
So you really have to become active, not be a observer. You have to be a participant.
Yeah.
And then we can start to optimize and to test
Change
things and change
and accept failure, because I think the other thing is, once you even if you fail at something small, you can think about it as failure, you can think about it as a learning, right? And say, okay, fine, I did not get this one right, let me see if I can get it somewhere
I'm
else.
so glad you brought up failure.
Yeah.
Because failure is, you need to be, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you need to be comfortable with failure. You need to actually welcome failure. You need to realize that if you are not failing at something, you're not learning.
Yes.
You have to, those failures, those are your lessons, those are your school fees. That's so that next time when you do it, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience.
And this is the challenge, because I think the pivotal way I wanted to come talk to you today is, there is that underestimation of our digital creators. Like, they just get it instantly. They didn't have to work for it. And I mean, to tell the truth, I went through varsity and got my media and communications degree. I went through several brand schools and went through like so much learnerships, and everything is on digital. It's easily accessible these days, and there is that, us professionals have had years of experience, we've done all of these things, and in come these creators onto a platform, pull up a mic, pull up a ring light,
An iPhone,
and all of a sudden they're booking million-rand jobs that have taken me 20 years to build.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you can balance that innovation and that instant reaction that's happening today with the fact that you need to build experience? Do you still feel like you need to build experience?
I think the place where I am at the moment in business, like I said, school fees. You need to build that experience. You need to go through those challenges, those experiences, and that's something that I've also kind of struggled with in certain aspects, because I want to experience things for myself. I can watch 100 YouTube videos about an entrepreneur telling me, right? telling me, don't do this, do that, try this, and I will kind of be like, no, I want to try it for myself. I want to learn for myself. But I definitely think you kind of need to have a bit of a give and take, right? Take what you can in terms of learning from people who have done it before you, and testing the waters yourself as well. when it comes to kind of creators coming in and demanding the attention,
They do.
right? Honestly, I think that that's just the way that the world works at the moment. I think that we are geared towards social media. We're geared towards short form content, videos, scrolling. We're kind of, just scrolling online, and it's all about who can, grab your attention.
Yeah.
Attention is the digital currency, right?
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of brands are, gravitating towards working with creators.
Yeah.
Working with people who are maybe a little bit more relatable, who are pretty much exactly like their target audience, like the people they're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And then there's the very real fact that oftentimes it's cheaper to work with a creator than to approach, a big agency
actress,
or an actress,
yeah.
or et cetera, right? Where everything has been very constructed and planned out, and it's picture perfect, and we're creating the ad campaign.
Yes.
Whereas when you're working with a creator, they're just turning up as themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that's especially what I'm seeing on TikTok, and I think that that's something that the new generation, Gen Z, is really getting right.
Yeah.
In terms of not having everything be perfect and appear, like this fantasy that we're trying to sell.
The real, come up with the real, and I think that's helping a lot with the mental health issues. Is like they're saying enough.
Yes.
I just actually want to take back my space and do exactly what, and celebrate exactly what, and celebrate the fact that we're different colors, different shapes, different nuances, and but I think what's interesting, because I'm more of the old school. I was learned in the old school way of media, and there is those accountability metrics that we've learned literally year after year. Have a plan, strategize with your client, launch because you understand what you're going to deliver on, the KPIs, etc., etc. And I think what I like about your model is, because I used to say this to my influencers all the time, is if you're not in merchandising, if you're not in business, you will then decide that you're going to create content for the like. A brand comes to you because we're trying to build businesses. So if you know you have to deliver on a deadline. If you own a business, you understand deadlines, right? Yes. You know timelines, you know what needs to be done because you own a business. And I actually do encourage a lot of creators to go into merchandising. And you have your own brand. And that is the Skinny Color Cosmetics. And it's already doing a lot of work, right?
Yes.
Where did that brand start and how did you get that going? Because I think that under your arsenal as an influencer, that is already a plus.
100%. And I think that creators, digital creators, whether you consider yourself an influencer or a UGC creator or just somebody that wants to make a living from creating, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, it is so important to diversify your portfolio, so to speak, and really to pivot, right? Especially when you are, being a creator it's like being a freelancer, right? It's somewhat dependent on brand deals. It's dependent on a brand coming into your inbox and saying, this is our budget, we want to work with you. Yeah. And those are amazing moments, right?
The first one's always so good.
But it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't, it's not happening, there's not a consistent flow, right? Yeah. So it's important to kind of take your earning potential back into your own hands, and that's why I encourage diversifying your portfolio or having multiple streams of income or pivoting in some way as to say that, this isn't, I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket, right? And I think that creating a business around what you love, around your lifestyle, is a really, really great option, right? Yes. And it doesn't have to necessarily be product based, right? It could be service based. You're already delivering a service in terms of being able to provide excellent photography, amazing videography, editing skills, copywriting with your captions, captivating your audience. There's so many avenues that you could go into, right? But I think it is important to treat your enterprise or your personal brand as a business, as you said, right? And approaching it in a professional manner, not necessarily just DMing a brand, hey, I love what you do, can I have some free stuff?
Oh
no.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
I have been on either side. I've been the one DMing, and I've also been the manager or the brand manager or whatever receiving those emails. That is not the way to do it. You need to, I think the industry's come a long enough way for there to be an understanding that this is a real industry, this is a real space where people operate, there's real money to be made here, and we need to conduct
ourselves. And there's good business value as well. I mean,
Absolutely.
There's so much that can be done with this new media, this new business, this new way of living. It's just, it is a thing. But where do you see Skinny Girl Cosmetics?
Sorry,
in
Skinny Color Cosmetics.
Skinny Color Cosmetics, sorry.
Do you want
Where
to
do you
say that
see,
one again?
Yes.
Yeah,
where do you see Skinny Color Cosmetics going? Where do you want it to go? 5 years plan.
So Skinny Color Cosmetics is a clean beauty brand. We have, we offer effective skincare solutions as well as inclusive color cosmetics, so makeup. And the mission really is to change the narrative around outdated ideas of beauty, specifically around skin color, and furthermore skin, so that's why we're kind of into skincare and tackling that first. But that's really the mission at hand, right? So changing kind of the narrative around skin color, around what skinny color means, and really giving people an effective and affordable and accessible and inclusive option when it comes to skincare, and hopefully further down the line more color cosmetics products as well.
Well, your skin looks glowy and beautiful, so I can understand how you went down this route. I wish you all the best. I think you are an exceptional young woman. I'm hoping that people will follow you and your brand, and we'll definitely have a link on the description box, guys, so you can follow the cosmetics brand and you can follow her journey and support her, like her content and engage with her. And I think from a mentorship perspective, if young people also feel like they can get in touch with you, let's help one another. Like, guys, we rise together. Beautiful South Africa, beautiful team. I love your brand, I love you. Let's break for a little bit and then we'll come right back, because I think I would love to hear your lessons to be shared with all the other digital creators out there.
Hi, my name is Nicole Moorman. I'm the founder and CEO of Skinny Color Cosmetics, and today I'll be sharing what I have in my bag. Very reluctantly, but nevertheless, let's check it out. Okay, so today we are going to be checking out what I have inside of my handbag. Let's get the first thing out of the way. Super predictable, I know, but it is my iPhone. I take this with me everywhere. It's got a ton of apps. And I also wanted to share this, that I actually have my vision board as my wallpaper. So every time I pick up my phone, I can actually look at my vision board, my goals, my dreams, and just be reminded of what I'm working towards. So that's the first thing. Then I have my go-to lipstick. This is the shade Koi from Skinny Color Cosmetics. It is a beautiful nude. I'm wearing it with a little bit of gloss today, but that is my go-to shade. I wear it pretty much every day. Next, also predictable, but I have my credit card. What else do we have in here? Ooh, this one's interesting. Let me just grab that for you guys. So here we have, this is actually a little business card, like a little square business card. This is just indicative of a event that I actually recently attended. It was a female entrepreneurship event. I think networking and mingling with like-minded women, like-minded entrepreneurs is super important. And that's just a little reminder of, I think 2 weeks ago when I put myself out there, went to that event and decided to meet new people and exchange ideas. So that's what I have over there. And then we have some keys, some house keys. We also have a bunch of jewelry. I don't know why I have this bad habit of keeping rings in my bag. Oops. And I also have some pearls. So just some jewelry. I feel like I keep these in my bag, pop them on before I'm about to go into an event, and then when I leave I take them off because I don't really like having rings on my fingers, but it looks good. It's all about your appearance. If you look good, you feel good, and then you're able to do good. And then one more, super just basic, but hair ties. I am somebody that I love to look good, but also I love to just get down and do the work, and often that means taking a hair tie, tying my hair up in a messy bun, and just getting down to the work that needs to be done. But yeah, I keep those in my bag as well. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me as I unpack what I have in my little handbag today. If you enjoyed this, give this video a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to A Lesson Shared channel for more videos like these.
Welcome back, guys, to A Lesson Shared. Do not be afraid again to like, comment, and subscribe. We're looking for you guys in the comment section. We are still here with Nicole. And we're just trying to break down a little bit of these metrics that go into digital creation. And one of the aspects you touched on is social currency. There's influencers who've got 50,000 followers, there's influencers who've got 5,000, there's influencers who've got 300, and there's some who are just starting out, and everybody's got big visions for their dream. How has the industry changed? How do you feel influencers need to tackle this? I need to work and be accountable and be responsible, but still be able to have space to be creative as they are. Yeah.
Well, I think the first question, let's talk about that, right? Like, how has the industry changed? I think it's changed significantly since firstly the dawn of social media, right? When it was really about sharing your friends and family and poking somebody, and now it's like this is a real tool that you can use to make money, to run your business, right? And then, kind of thinking about the role of the influencer, or how an influencer or a content creator operates within that platform has changed significantly as well, right? I think that starting out, it was very much about the numbers, the followers, the statistics, the click-throughs, all that kind of thing, the data, right? Which is still important today. As somebody that's looking at, people or creators to work with, making business decisions, trying to attribute costs and justify costs in terms of approaching a creator and working with them, and trying to really gauge what are we going to receive out of this, or what is the the return on our investment when we work with this person. So in that light, statistics and your kind of insights are important, and that's where things like a rate card, things like things like a rate card, things like even just a line in terms of a line or two or a paragraph in terms of your personal brand, what you stand for, so that there's brand synergy when you're working with brands, and showing the analytics of your page, right? This is after all what you're trying to sell. This is after all the service or the product or service that you're trying to get the brand to buy into. So I think that those things are important to a certain degree.
Yeah.
However, we've definitely moved into a space where authenticity is highly valued on social media. And once again, we can attribute that to Gen Z. Right? They don't want
disrupt the barriers.
Absolutely. They don't want to see ads that look picture perfect. They don't even want to see ads. If you're saying #ad, they're scrolling straight past that. People want things that feel authentic. Inspirational and aspiration to a certain degree, but authenticity is the most important, right? So show us your, I think kind of photo dump, #photo dump is a perfect example, right?
Yes, I enjoy those so much.
It's showing your plate of food after you've eaten it, or your beautiful sunset that you've enjoyed, or a picture of yourself actually smiling and not kind of creating this contrived scene. It's really about showing who you are, right? And I think that we're kind of going back to that. So it's not necessarily about creating these fantasies that everyone kind of knows. You did not wake up that way. You're not walking around in heels and a blazer at all times of the day. Like, show us something real. And I think that social media audiences are really craving that, right? And that also kind of speaks to what you were saying with regards to mental wellness and loving yourself and self-care and getting back to who we are as people, right? Instead of trying to say, this is who I am online. But
and then later on go and cry.
Exactly.
Like, not cry and tell us now so we can actually help you. And there's people out there that are actually going to be able to help you. And to be more relatable, to be able to peel back the ego and actually bring forward that authenticity, because sometimes ego is not involved in being authentic, right? You just go forward. But then how does that work, considering that you've got a brand, right? you still work as an influencer. How do you then work with content creators for your brand, for instance? What are you looking for? What are those things that you like? Okay, I know this industry has changed. I know these are my peers.
Yes.
How do you want to engage with them?
Yes.
How do you want them to understand about delivering towards a
Yes,
business?
100%. I think professionalism is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't go out of the door just because we're chatting in the DMs.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, cool.
So, don't be messaging brands, hey babe, hey hun. That's not gonna get you very far, right? Because that immediately says that we're not talking business if you're saying, hey hun, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, be professional. I think also have a very clear idea of what it is you want to do. What do you have a pitch? It doesn't have to be a long kind of, here's my presentation kind of thing. But what value are you offering to this brand, right?
Cool.
You can't just go into, I'm just going to say it how it is. You can't just go into people's DMs and say, can I have free stuff?
Yeah.
Because it's not going to happen, right? It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That business still has to pay for
for it.
that, right?
There's a cost to that.
associated with that.
Yeah.
And oftentimes those marketing costs, maybe they're already allocated at the beginning of the month or at the beginning of the quarter because things need to be planned out. That's not to say that, you can't come and pitch your idea and successfully, create a collaboration with the brand. But you need to be clear on exactly what it is you're trying to offer them and what they can offer you in return so that it is a mutually beneficial relationship at the end of the day, right? And other than that, I think that, once again, speaking about structuring your service or your business, structuring your business so that I'm going to pitch my idea in this manner, I'm going to quote them, I can supply my rate card, I can supply my analytics, I have the evidence to back up what I'm saying, right? And then, invoicing, deliverables, agreeing, kind of negotiating, the typical kind of business
Sure.
negotiations,
Yeah.
and then delivering on your promise, right? And that's really where the quality of your content comes into play. And
serving your analytics
absolutely
in a trustworthy and meticulous manner.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that, just one more thing.
Yeah.
On that, I say that probably your followership is not that high on the list when a brand manager or a brand owner is looking at, your profile. They're looking at your personal brand, they're looking at the quality of your images, they're looking to see if you really are actually a good fit for that brand, right? With that said, the numbers are still important because we are trying to get those clicks, we are trying to get those,
the return
those
on investment.
Absolutely, exactly. Those are some pointers that I would give to aspiring creators, that even without the huge following, if you can nail those things, you'll start to see, traction on your page, and you'll start to really be able to kind of captivate or grab the attention of the decision makers when you already just show up and present yourself appropriately.
Awesome. Yeah. I think you are amazing, and I think all of the lessons you've imparted onto our audience, those who are trying to start a business, those who are trying to get into digital creator, don't underestimate the hard work that goes into the process. Don't underestimate yourself. Believe in yourself, and feel like you have something to impart, something of value you can show people. Businesses themselves are tasked to create value, and if you show value to that business is going to reward you for that. But I also love the fact that we are creating diverse and different businesses, and there's different, it's no longer like a CEO and a secretary and a worker, and it's like there's just so much hybrid, innovative and spurring on of entrepreneurship that's coming out, and I think South Africa is ready for it, informal or not formal, connecting with others. Like, you don't start by yourself, your customers, your suppliers, your creators, your collaborators. I that's the other thing I want to say is I've realized that working with digital creators, I get more value out of them if they're collaborative. Because once you have only one-sided silo of a perspective, you're not able to embrace and diversify that piece of offering. So for instance, if you've got a product, I'll take it like a bag, right? and somebody else uses the bag with a blazer. Somebody else uses the bag with jeans, or is quite informal. Somebody uses it as a skater. For you to even see that variety of context allows you to even think even more. So I really do encourage, that's my thing.
Yeah.
I encourage creators to work collaboratively.
100%. And I think on that note also to be yourself.
Yeah.
And if you can, find something unique about your offering, right? So instead of, once again with the bag example, instead of trying to emulate what you're seeing,
Yes.
right? Oh, everyone's kind of doing the bag and the blazer and doing the boss babe look.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a skater, lean into that, right? If you're a tomboy, lean into that.
Yes.
And that once again speaks
thing.
to authenticity,
Yes.
right? Own who you are.
Yeah.
Show up authentically, and the brands and the people and whoever you
will
need to
find you.
collaborate with, they will find you.
Yes.
Because you're showing up as who you are, and that speaks to them in some way, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Thank
yeah.
you so much. Oh, we could sit and talk all day. I think you're brilliant, again, an amazing woman, and thank you so much for coming to the show and sharing your lessons and just being awesome. And I just love your brand. And yeah, hopefully people can get to see more of you, and I would love to see your skincare routine as well, and we'll obviously show that to you guys. Guys, this is a lesson shared. It's episode 5. Amazing content. Look at the description box. We're gonna link Skinny Color Cosmetics. We're gonna link Nicole's profile. It's gonna be amazing, and thank you so much for being here today.